You?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that?
It was the article on Patrick Peterson.
Oh,
yeah, and they did I think it's called Rising Stars with Sports Illustrated. They did an article on him, and the guy asked me, to talk about Patrick Peterson and my relationship with him. And Pat had some things to say.
What exactly how did you work with him when you were 1 year at LSU?
Yeah, the year and a half I was at LSU. I was a defensive assistant there, and that was Patrick Peterson's going into his sophomore year. And I was there the entire sophomore year, and I left going into his junior year.
Yeah. How do you assess your group's performance here coming out of this? What is like a pretty dreadful performance, I guess, against Georgia?
It was really poor. It was really poor. We did not perform well as a group. I have to do a better job as a coach at preparing my guys to go out and perform at a high level on Saturday. And if they did not perform well, that means I didn't do a good enough job as a coach preparing them to play. So we have to show up in the meeting rooms this week, ready to learn, ready to pick up on different tendencies and everything, and be in position to go out this Saturday and execute a game plan, in a better form and fashion.
Grady, it seemed like the corners were giving the receivers a lot of cushion off the line, about 10 yards. Was that by necessity, or were you guys trying to play a little closer and guys just didn't do it?
Yeah, well, we tried to execute, a certain game plan. You kind of change your techniques up from week to week according to what routes you get out of certain formations and what you expect out of certain situations and calls and everything like that. So there were times when the formation dictated that we press. There were times when the formation dictates that we play off and sit down at the sticks. I just didn't do a good job of making sure, I guess, that my guys understood the game plan, and therefore it showed in the way we played this Saturday. But we'll be ready this week.
How did Vic get hurt going off on the card? Did he turn his ankle?
Vic, again, played so hard against UNC. There were a number of injuries that he was suffering from, so just wasn't in a position, to go out and help us.
Like today, is he going to be okay? Did he go off on the card?
You will have to check with Clint. I'm not sure if he went off on the card or not, but he practiced yesterday and practiced well, so I would hope that he'd be ready to play this weekend.
He didn't practice today, though.
He did not practice today.
Any personnel, regardless of injury, any personnel changes, or the guys you like where they are, you just got to get them?
Yeah, I just have to do a better job of making sure that they understand the game plan and understand when to do what and how to operate certain techniques and when to use them. And we'll always look to get the 4 best players on the field at the same time in the secondary. So hopefully we'll get everybody healthy this weekend. And again, I'll make sure those guys understand, my guys understand the game plan, and the best players will play on Saturday.
What makes Jordan Matthews unique? If anything, is he just really good?
They're
all really good.
He is. He has a combination of a lot of skills. Number one, he's long, has good hands, runs good routes, and he's tough. You watch the Ole Miss game. I think he was vomiting at one point in the game. And went to the sideline and watered his mouth down and got right back in there. So he's a tough receiver. You would imagine he's a smart receiver, and he just does a good job of playing hard. I know it's high school up in the Madison area of Alabama, and that's a good, strong high school that produced really good players and good, positive kids. And he's just a good player, and he has deceptive speed. When you watch him on tape, it may not look like he's running very fast, but when you line up in front of him, if he catches the pass on you, you're not close, it's going to be tough to catch him. So it would be a really good challenge this weekend for our guys.
How do you go about trying to limit him in the passing game during offense?
Again, you have to be able to execute the game plan. Have to make sure my guys understand what to expect in certain situations. My guys have to understand where their help is in certain calls, and just go out and be ready to execute. And play tough and outcompete the guy in front of you, and just step up to the challenge. Those are the things that we've been talking about. We've been working on that this week in practice, and we'll go out. We're anxious to play another game right now.
Right now, what is he feeling about their quarterback? I know he played at Wyoming for a couple of years, put some pretty good numbers at Saturday, and this is going to be his first road start in the SEC here on Saturday night. What are you feeling about Samuels?
Well, I think he's a seasoned player.
Yeah.
He transferred in from Wyoming, if I'm not mistaken, and played in a bowl game last year, so he's a seasoned player. We're not going into this game expecting them to be rattled or anything, like that. We know our fans will do a great job of helping us out and making it loud for him. But I'm sure he'll go out and do a good job. They have a good coach, and they do a very, very good job on offense. So I'm sure he'll be ready. We'll have to prepare, as if he's has been at Vanderbilt and starting for 3 years.
You think you'll have Demetrius this weekend?
I would hope that I will have JJ this weekend. He practiced actually yesterday and today and moved around well. So I would hope that I would have him this weekend. It looks that way, but you might need to check with Clint on that.
Even if he's available, you still likelihood you're still going to start TJ there at the boundary safety, or is it Kadirius and TJ right now battling for the starting job there?
Yeah, that's always tough. You know, when a guy loses his position, so to say, because of injury, that's always tough. But we'll put whomever is playing the best, you know, whomever has the best week of practice, we'll go with that person at the end of the week. So I would say right now it's probably in there.
The cornerback position's open. Would you start Ahmad over a Jimmy or a Vic, or are they pretty much entrenched there?
Yeah, no one is entrenched. We'll always start the guy that's playing the best from the previous week and the guy that practiced the best during that week. So I wouldn't say any position is entrenched. The problem we're having right now is everyone really accept Ahmad as some type of nagging injury. So it's kind of hard to get full-fledged competition every day. You know.
What about opportunities for Jamari, Rico, and Ronnie Martin? I mean, any chance they might throw them in the game to see how they do under the
those are guys that have been put on alert, and they know that they need to get ready to play because they're one play away. You know, and I always remind guys that just stay ready and prepare as if you were the starter because you will be needed at some point throughout the season.
It's been now about a month or so now since Jamari made the move. How's he progressed as going from running back to cornerback?
He's coming along. He's coming along. He just needs as many reps as he can. You know, you need those reps to get better at operating the technique. It's just like driving a car. The more you drive, the better driver you normally become. So it's the same way with him. He just needs as many reps in practice as he can at operating the techniques that we operate.